We actually don't even need an intro. That was it. That just did it.
I don't know how it sounded.
I got you. No intro today. We're just straight in. Christian just sang to us, serenaded us, if you will. It's gonna be Liv's like.
I feel like that was like Heather's little dance that she does.
Yeah, right. What's up, everybody? Mike Frank, Christian Olson, back to Baltimorons, talking about real estate junk.
What's going on, fam? How we doing?
Fam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. We are hot. It is hot Baltimore summer.
Dude, I just want it to be cool, man.
I decided last week that I hate the summer the most.
Yeah, I'm like starting to be that way. Like, I was sick of the fucking winter this year. I'm not even bullshitting.
Yeah.
But
the only thing the summer has going for it is the longer days. I can get down with the longer days.
I'm about it too, but it's been so hot. And then like, I feel like now we're getting to some wild shit. As a man, like dressing business casual and like,
it's impossible.
It is fucking impossible to be comfortable.
It's impossible.
Like, I'm wearing pants. The only thing that's slightly comfortable is that fucking that right there. A little bit of wind you get right.
In case you don't know, Christian wears Birkenstocks around the office.
It's not even. Well, yeah, I do wear today. First time wearing Birkenstocks to the office, but the cutoff socks in between my pants, like getting a little bit of. That's the only thing. Other than that, I'm hot as shit in this. My pants is awful.
My perspective is I just want to be comfortable. I don't really care if it's hot, cold, or in between.
I'm with you.
I just don't like being sticky and gross.
I am jealous of women that can dress like with a tank top and be business casual. I wish I could do that. Right. Look, Liv, prime example
As
there.
Liv is,
I wish I could fucking wear a tank top to work and be
I
like,
would like to point out to you.
Christian.
I would like to point out to you.
You can list my home.
I would like to point out to you, it is 2024, and you could do anything that you want.
If I pull up to a listing in a tank top, they're like, what the fuck is going on here?
I know people that do.
Dude,
it's not my way, and I respect their business. I don't like weathering the storm, so I don't like leaving things up to chance. I try to show up in a certain way, and it might not be for everybody. Like, I'm not coming in a three-piece suit, and I know there are agents that do.
Yeah.
It's just not my way.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get rolling into tips for buying and selling in this crazy hot summer. Before we start, we're going to watch this. Is this an Instagram reel?
It's something.
Okay, bet. Wait.
Summer real estate market is here. In my opinion, the summer real estate market is one of the best times to be in the market for a home buyer. Here we are in the summer of 2024, and this is what I'm seeing. Mortgage rates have come down, meaning more buying power and affordability. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage peaked at 2023 at over 8%, and earlier this year, they were as high as 7.375. Today, the average 30-year fixed rate is in the high sixes. And after some welcome news surrounding inflation, some are forecasting for rate cuts later this year. We don't expect any massive changes to interest rates, but we think they are closer to them coming down versus going back up. Housing inventory has increased, meaning more options to choose from. New listing inventory is up 8% compared to this time last year. More home sellers have been willing to list their homes as rates have come down. Overall housing inventory is up 36% nationally, above where it was 1 year ago today. And home prices have plateaued, for the time being anyways. With more inventory available and price adjustments increasing, we've seen a slowdown in home price appreciation, which was off the charts the last few years. We've also seen days a home stays on the market increase by approximately 5%, so about 2 days. And along with that, the amount of homes with multiple offers has come down with it. So these are all welcome signs for home buyers who have been overwhelmed and had a rough time entering the housing market and having their offers accepted. I've personally found that the summer market can be an amazing time to be a home buyer. It can be much easier to navigate once you are past the intensity of the spring market. Home sellers can be much more willing to negotiate, competition's a little less fierce, and the odds of having your offer accepted increase big time. So home buyers, get in or stay in the housing market. And if you'd like to get pre-approved to understand all of your financing options, please reach out to me via DM or at shant@rate.com.
All right. This dude's got the world in his hands.
He does have the. He's also a big dude. Like he's holding the world, right? I will say I don't love his stage presence, but the content that's a lot of content.
I would love to know where he's based out of and what like markets he primarily serves.
Do we
in.
know where he's based out of? No, we have no idea.
Like,
I'm pretty sure he's a mortgage lender with guaranteed rate though.
Yeah, I mean he makes some solid points, but it's so tough when you speak on such a large like national level.
The most solid point that I take away from this is just if you're not in, get in, and if you're in, stay in.
That was
right?
like my point.
Don't let things beat you up and like chew you up and spit you out. I have watched so many people in my career, oh no, we're going to wait for interest rates to drop. Whatever their reason is for not continuing on in the market, if you bought a house at the world's highest interest rate in 2017, 2016, world's highest interest rate is probably like 5.125, right? If you had the worst credit, the worst position, and you bought it 5.5, where would you be today?
What do you mean the world's worst interest rate at 5.5?
Back in 2017, that was really bad.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like,
well,
if you look,
the way that I look at it is like, there's always going to be something that you're not going to be.
Exactly.
Like that's always going to like make your skin itch or something, right?
But
like
your situation only improves
you have
when
to
you bet on yourself.
Right. And you have to pick your battles, right? Like you don't buy today. Well, what happens when interest rates do come down? Well, now there's going to be many more buyers in the market. If you buy today, well, then you get in early and maybe you reap the benefits when the rates come down, but you do have a higher rate for the time being. Right, so like,
well, and
I don't want to say pick your poison because at the end of the day, this is going to be a blessing.
Think about where this guy's coming from. He's giving you all the reasons why now is a good time to buy. But the biggest thing that I took away was don't get discouraged. Don't let it get to you. Yeah. If you're selling your house to get into a bigger home for yourself and for your family, this happened to me last week. My clients went off and made a buku bucks offer, an amazing offer. I never thought it wasn't going to get accepted. And I happened to know that it was $25,000 higher than anything else the seller had at that time. And the listing agent called me. I thought he was messing with me when he told me that we didn't win. My clients made an awesome offer, but they didn't let themselves get discouraged because their reason for purchasing far outweighs the value of that house. Yeah. Their reason for purchasing is creating an opportunity for their family, buying something bigger where their family can start to stretch their legs, grow up a little bit. And now where their son is into hobby RC cars, he can really start to have a space to build and develop them. That's while their daughter is in music class and doing other things, they're not relegated to their tiny little, 11 by 12 bedroom or whatever the size of their room is. They now have hobby spaces and room spaces and larger garages and other things that they can use. That was their reason for getting in the first place. Don't let the market beat you up.
Yeah, and I think also there's I don't want to say a fine line, but there's like people who are getting ready to hit the market or like want to hit the market. They're not just ready yet. So we're not talking about these people, but we're more so talking about the people who are like avoiding the market.
Well, maybe. I mean, it goes both ways.
Well, it does, but
also just remember, for the people that are in the market getting beat up or the people that are avoiding the market, they're both doing the same thing.
Yeah,
they're letting the new people come into the market and take their market share. Right? You've been here for 4 weeks or 4 months and you've been getting beat up. Well, somebody new comes along, makes one offer on a house, but they make it competitively with an agent that's competent and explains things to them versus a buyer that doesn't allow themselves to become educated.
You want to know, like, a great story of mine, one of my clients recently, Daniel Hedler, and shout out, we just closed probably 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago. Mm-hmm. Daniel and Marissa, you guys are amazing. Well, we had been working probably together close to 2 years, maybe a year and a half. Mm-hmm. We were originally in the market. We found a couple of properties they liked, but they ended up getting outbid. And not that he stepped away from the market, but he was working like, okay, I'm getting outbid. I'm going to save up a little bit more money. That way, the next time I find something that checks all of my boxes, I can execute and know that the house is going to be mine.
Right.
Right. So like, you got to be taking the right steps, getting yourself ready for the market and understand that, hey, maybe we will have to pay over asking, or maybe, hey, I might have to, I don't want to say waive an inspection, but like, maybe make a sacrifice. I don't like using the term because people take it in a negative way if they aren't ready to face reality, but like,
it is reality.
It is, right? And like, so if everybody, like if buying a house was easy, everyone that I know would be doing it right now.
It's funny. We have our blog post today talks a little bit about tips for making the summer easier to bear for buyers and sellers. And something that's not on here is what Christian just said. Right? What if you just took the time to listen to your real estate agent? You've hired a professional. You've chosen someone to represent you in your biggest purchase of your life. Hopefully they've gotten you prepared. Hopefully they've prepped you to act quickly and be competitive in today's market. Hopefully they've helped you consider different neighborhoods or taken the time to evaluate the property for what you can see in it. But the fifth one, the thing that you need to know is pay attention to your real estate agent. And when your real estate agent says jump, you need to be prepared to say, okay, that sounds good. You don't even need to say like how high.
We're going to
do
be
whatever I
attached to
tell
the
you
parachute together.
Right, like we're going into it.
Yeah. And damn, there was another good point that I had that I just freaking forgot.
Ooh.
Thinking about parachutes and jumping out of planes, which I have not done yet.
We need to do that sometime when it's not a million degrees outside.
Damn.
The key is, I think, for buyers in the market is to stay engaged, stay prepared, stay on top of the market as often as you can, because being knowledgeable about today's market is the most accurate way to make a good move. Sometimes understanding that pulling back on the reins and not spending every penny is the best thing for me today, because I can buy a short-term house today, and then in the long run, when I pay off my car, I'll have more capacity. When interest rates come down, I'll have more capacity. When I get that job promotion, I'll have more capacity. So stop trying to stretch ourselves to the limit, but pull ourselves back. Staying engaged is the most important value.
And like, you don't want to trap yourself into anything either. So I do like, I resonate with that. Like, don't spend all your money right now. Don't extend yourselves way too much. And I think a lot of people come into the real estate market and think that this is forever.
I mean, I think that it needs to have some level of pragmatism to it, but just being patient and persistent. I mean, it's one of the things that we talked about on the podcast a couple weeks ago was sellers' ability to understand why their house didn't sell. Patience is key, right? Especially when it comes to the seller side, understanding how to maximize your productivity in this kind of a summer market. Mm-hmm. How many houses have I shown in the last 2 weeks where the flowers on the front porch were dead? Right? Like somebody got flowers for mom for Mother's Day or dad for Father's Day that never got planted, never got watered, and they're just sitting on the porch dead.
Yeah.
What if we took the time to consider our curb appeal, consider our marketability? Buyers have taken the time out of their day, their night, their weekend to come and see your house, and they just got let down upon first inspection. What about those fake AF grass photos? When the grass doesn't look like that, don't make the grass look like that, right? All it does is make somebody come in and feel like they're not getting the value that they said.
I was, almost like cheated out on it, right? Like just setting the wrong perception or perspective for the buyer when they come out. Now they're going to like, when they get that feeling, I feel like they're going to start picking apart everything else.
That's what they do.
Right? So don't like leave things up for chance.
Yeah.
You know?
And then when you allow your buyer to come into your home, make sure that it's the right space for them, right? Make sure that it's in the right time, in the right setting, with the right smells, the right sounds, the right look, right? Don't eliminate the property from the railroad tracks. You told the story about the railroad tracks, right? Where, property situated next to a railroad track. Well, you don't eliminate the times that the train is coming by. That's misleading. But if you have the ability to like lift up the shades and open up the blinds to create an opportunity for the buyer to see how much natural light can come in, that's what you should do. I understand that it's cost inefficient, but you should be doing those things to make the property more marketable for the buyers that are coming through.
I'm with you. Dude, curb appeal. You should see what's going on with my neighbor's house.
At your parents' house?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Holy shit, dude. So like this one house on the front corner of the street, they have a whole bunch of trees like covering the front of the house. So you could see it if you just looked up the driveway. But once you get slightly past the driveway, the trees would block it. They basically debranched all of the trees unless it's like really up top so you can see straight through, tore up all the other shrubs and small bushes, and they put like flowers and all these things so you can see through the trees. It's like this little like jungle maze thing, but they have like great flowers and great bushes and rocks now to where it is so presentable. But what's crazy is our other neighbor right down the street has like taken care of their lawn like it's a full-time job the entirety of the time that they've lived there. Like ever since I lived at the property, I imagine theirs was built either shortly before or after. I'm too little to know, but God, every time I drive by or go out there, they're trimming the grass, they're planting seed, they're watering it. They have even the sprinklers that come up, their bushes and stuff, all the landscape. Oh my God, it's beautiful. But
So
it definitely was like a full-time job for them. But like,
having said all of that,
okay,
I'm curious. What do you think is the only thing, if sellers only did one thing to prep their house, would it be curb appeal?
No.
What would it be?
I would consider this all one, but maybe some people don't, is what we call it, 3 Ds of real estate.
Oh, declutter, deep clean, and depersonalize?
Maybe it's the 3 Cs, right?
Declutter, deep clean, depersonalize.
Oh, no, it's Ds. I saw clutter and clean.
Declutter, deep clean,
Well,
Depersonalized.
True. Brain's not working today. But yes, I would say the 3D is if you consider that all one thing.
Even more than anything particular to the summer.
It's so hard, man.
I agree with you.
To
be honest with you, if every single seller did one thing and it was just declutter, deep clean, and depersonalize, every house would sell. Yeah. Now, it doesn't go without, right? Like, you can't have grass that's 4 feet long, Caleb, right? You've got to take care of the property. But if you don't declutter, declean, and depersonalize, you're not going to have the opportunity to sell. Because once the buyer now is in the home with all those cute curb appeal things,
they're going to feel like
right. They're just going to walk away.
Like you get them in the door. When you get them in the door, you want to capture them even more. Secure the bag. Like
in the current conditions of the market, right? Aggressive, we've got these weird houses that are sitting on the market because sellers have overpriced them. What experience have you had with a buyer as of late that has helped them win in today's competitive market? I mean, let's eliminate those people that have gone over the price, that have appraisal gap coverage, like something that's unique, something that's helped them win.
A buyer. Well, you might include this with the appraisal gap coverage with the offering over asking, but being able to eliminate your home inspection from your offer.
All right.
And like for people that are listening, it doesn't mean that he didn't have a home inspection. It doesn't mean that the house was not looked at. There's a difference between not having a contingency, yes, but like still understanding the scope of the house. So what we call this like a walk and talk, right?
Right.
And like if you know this property is exactly what you're looking for, it's something you've been eyeing down, you know it's going to be popular. Well, instead of just waiving the inspection and kind of shooting from the hip, you can get that confirmation if your agent says to the inspector, hey, we're going to the property on Friday at 2. Can you swing by and meet us there and walk through the property with my buyer and talk to him about some of the major systems or things, the key features of this house?
Yeah.
Right. That way, when you go to make that offer without the home inspection, you're confident and you're educated and you know what to expect when moving in. Right. Daniel Hedler, the gentleman I just mentioned, did that exact thing. So it wasn't him just saving money over time and slightly taking a step back from the market, but we presented these ideas of, hey, how can we make our offer so competitive and how can we get our offer accepted? And I was like, well, another thing that we could do, like we could schedule another showing because we had already gone out to the property at this point.
Right.
And we could have Tim, our inspector, come with us and walk us through the property.
To eliminate the contingency in the contract.
Well, yes, to eliminate the contingency, right? And that did wonders for our offer, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
I'm thinking of another buyer that we had that basically, instead of considering the property and considering the competition and considering the negotiation, what we did was we realigned their expectations of location, right? The locality that they had originally chosen, they were just not able to compete in. And so by taking a little bit of a step back to say, could we consider? And they expanded their search just, 5 or 10 minutes in one direction. They were able to open themselves up to a totally new town that they're familiar with. They knew the community, but they hadn't been prospecting in that area. And all of a sudden, their $330,000 went a lot farther. And it was able to be a lot more competitive.
I had a story like that. It wasn't too recent, in the last 2 years. And I actually talked to him over the weekend, Tyler Starner. He was looking in the southern part of Calvert County, probably in the price range. Gosh, I can't remember. Maybe no more than $250, $275, and that's very difficult to come by. Mm-hmm. So then stepping into St. Mary's County, I was like, we were looking in Calvert for so often. We weren't really finding anything that he liked, or if he did, obviously we got outbid. I was like, hey, let's take a slight step over the bridge, look in the southern part, St. Mary's, around like the Pax River area, if you're familiar,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the first house that we had gone out and seen and put an offer in across the bridge, he got accepted. He's been living there for 2 years. He absolutely loves it. But again, just extending that location to another market, but that you're familiar of and you know, and it offers more house.
It really allows you to be more competitive for yourself, right? To ease your search by changing your target community, right? You're either raising your price, giving up more contingencies, or you're changing your target area.
Yeah.
I think there's just so many different opportunities. As I look through, I'm thinking of other buyers that we've helped throughout the years that have taken advantage of the current conditions. But something else for people to think about is like, hey, when the seller's air conditioning unit doesn't work, it's not the opportunity to like lowball them. It's the opportunity to go and offer them market price.
I want to,
because every other buyer
I kind of
want to lowball them.
Like, I want to flip the script a little bit. We said, what a step has our buyer taken to, I guess, better themselves into the market to secure a deal? What are some of the things that you find that buyers do that hold themselves back from finding that deal outside of like not expanding their location? Like, have you seen anything in a buyer that they shot themselves in the foot, even though you kind of
dozens of buyers.
Well, like
I could think of dozens of buyers that have done the same thing, where the market says, you know, I love when people go, oh my God, the seller's crazy. They're never gonna get this price. It's like, I bet you're wrong. Like, I bet they do. And they're like, no way. And then they write it off like they didn't even see the house in the first place, right? Yeah. And that's really shooting yourself in the foot, because you're not taking the time to actually evaluate the property from a condition and what it's worth. But if you don't like it, just say, it's not the right house for me. But don't come to me and be like, it's so overpriced. And when I say, no, it's actually priced really competitively, you're like, no way, you're not right. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, fine. Move on to the next one. Let's go. I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
But like, that's definitely something that I've seen people do. I actually have someone who's done the inverse, and a really long-standing client of ours, and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but basically I've represented them on 4 or 5 different transactions. Damn. And when they've sold and they've bought, they just act. It doesn't matter if it's the right price or the highest price in the community or whatever. They bought a house in COVID, and I remember going like, this is crazy. Right? This is before COVID was going nuts, and this is probably April, right? They just saw a house come on the market. They wanted to make an offer. They offered full list price plus something, and I was like, you guys are kind of crazy, but they just bought exactly what they saw, and they didn't shoot themselves in the foot by going like, I'm going to save $3,000, right? Like, it matters when you're buying a $900,000 house, right? I just wish more people would take the time to say, this is a big investment, but if I got in on Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin now?
I don't know, dude. I don't
$50,000,
fuck with that.
$60,000?
It might be. I know it went back up.
But like, dude, I remember when Bitcoin was 4,000, and I was like, nah, that's crazy. Y'all are crazy, right? But it's just not my method. I wasn't like I was buying something else, naysaying Bitcoin. But these people are. They're literally naysaying, oh, that house is not worth it. I'm going to go buy this one, right? And then they don't buy house number 1. They don't even buy house number 2. And they just miss out on opportunities. If you're in the market and you're actively day trading, shouldn't you be trading every single day? Like, shouldn't every single day be an opportunity to write an offer on a house?
I like that.
I get off my soapbox now.
Your what?
My soapbox.
Soapbox?
Have you never heard that term?
No.
Why am I the only person that's looking at Christian like,
boomer?
Okay, so
I'm Googling it.
Box. I hope there's people listening out there going, Christian, what is the meaning of a soapbox? A soapbox is a raised platform on which one stands to make an impromptu speech, often about a political subject. How have you never heard this term? I'm a little bit embarrassed.
You're just a boomer.
I have a full-time job.
Back to work. All right, so closing out, we got a lot of content. If you guys haven't already, go to our website at Frank Oliver Co. Under additional resources, go to the blog, get more information. You can always reach out on our website. You can DM me on Instagram at michael.frank___. And there's a lot of things that are going on. If you did miss it, we have another home buyer event coming up in a couple months. I actually don't know the date. Sorry, it was just a couple weeks ago. But next one is coming up soon, so keep an eye out.
October 19th.
October 19th. Also, Ocean City, Maryland is hosting the annual, what do they call it? The air show, Air show coming up in the end of the month. We're going to be gone for a week because we're going out to Summit, and I will talk to you guys real soon. If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. Christian, how can they reach you?
You can find me on Instagram at Christian Deadhead. And one last event before we run. In October on the 5th, we got the Live Baltimore Trolley. It's for the last one of the year. So if you're looking to buy in Baltimore,
good pull.
Not sure where to get started.
I wasn't thinking about it.
That would be a wonderful, wonderful event to attend to. Many incentives, many programs. I think there's over 51. If I remember
It's also
correctly.
just a great way to learn a little bit more about something that you don't know.
Yeah.
For people that are looking to buy or sell here in Baltimore, we're always here to help you, and we look forward to chatting with you real soon.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. For more information on the housing market, Real Estate 101, how you can leverage your position in today's market, and so much more, click on the link below. If you like this video or have a burning real estate question you'd like us to answer, leave us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you again real soon.